So Keegan and I were talking about this yesterday, and I don't think we talk about it enough as Catholic creatives, and that is holding the artists to a high standard. We talk a lot about wishing that the church would adapt faster to a growing Catholic creative market and catch up to our Protestant brothers and sisters with all of their high production and wonderful praise and worship songs and things like that. But sometimes I think we fall short, just if I'm being totally honest, on kind of our art and maybe the level at which we are producing that. I think can fall short a lot of times. And so if we want the church to really grow in its kind of acceptance and inclusion of nights like tonight and events like this, which are amazing, as Catholic artists and Catholic creatives, we need to make sure that we take our craft very seriously and realize that I'm not just going to learn how to play a few chords on the guitar and sing worship songs and that's the end of the day. I'll get by. If you want to really create meaningful art and something that honors the church and honors your faith, you need to take your music or your art or your poetry or your comedy, whatever it is. You got to take it really seriously, and you got to be serious in that aspect as you would be in anything else, because that's the way we'll grow, and we'll continue to grow as a church, and continue to grow as a culture of the church moving forward. So that's kind of what I wanted to say.
What brings this conversation? Where do you see it?
Because I think that we just see a lot of young people who see a worship leader at a conference and I want to do that. Mm-hmm. And maybe they have a really good voice, mm-hmm. and they just
they buy the right jeans.
And they learn how to play the bare minimum on the guitar or the piano. Mm-hmm. Whereas
a certain number of chords.
Right. You only need a few. But if you look at the Catholic grandfather or father, it's not grandfather, Catholic father of kind of contemporary music is Matt Maher. And Matt Maher is a classically trained, he was a jazz performance piano major in college. He works and has worked incredibly hard at what he does. His multiple instruments, about writing songs. It's not like he was just I'm going to be a worship leader. He loved music and he loves his faith, and he found a way to combine those two things. I can't really speak for him too much, but to use that as an example, people look to him. We also need to know he spent his entire life training himself to do what he does. Sure. So I think sometimes we want to just create there's going to be a Catholic group singing songs, and it's okay, that's great, but why don't we really explore that medium or that vehicle of art in a way, if it is something that we want to do and put out there and bring to the world, bring to the church, take it seriously and spend time developing your craft.
Yeah, I think another huge part of exactly what you're saying, getting to the heart of it, literally the fleshly beating heart of the artist. It's we were just talking about how different people I want to do country, I want to do hip hop, I want to do this, but I want to be Catholic, I want to sound like this, I want to look like this, I want to have this vibe, I need to wear this hat, I need to do this thing and we were just talking about just write. Go in your room, write, and God made you with your personality, and that's what's going to set the world on fire. Mm-hmm. Not trying to be Matt Maher, not trying to be whoever it is in your circle or out of your circle that you aspire to be, but the saints and musicians that are killing it, mm-hmm. they are an example, but they're just doing what they're supposed to do, and they shouldn't be praised for that. We need to do what we're supposed to do, right? We become a saint because we become the person who we were created to be, not because we became John Paul II. There's already a John Paul II. The church needs artists to embrace the gift that they are, the life that they are, and figure out the way to bring that to people. What's the medium? How do you play guitar like no one else is? You learned, Mac Maggione plays a standard guitar upside down, strung the other way, because that's how he played it in his room with his brother. And his brother plays the same way. They're upside down. They were and I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, that dude's got so much soul because he literally bleeds when he plays. He leaves it all out there. Like, that dude's grinding and it's him. And you're getting him and people are moved. Like, I've been in rooms where it's like, it feels like someone sucks the air out of the room the way he stops playing and ends a note. Like the vocal cords. And, you know, it's just like, dude, that's art. That's a saint. That's someone who is recklessly abandoned for their mission, and they know who they are, and they've perfected who they are, sanctifying themselves. That's what we need. That's what's going to set the church on fire. Like, we don't need clones of Matt Maher, right? We need like us. We need like me. We need you. We need like whoever's listening to this to become the best version of themselves, because that's what's lacking in the church, is what's lacking in you, you know?
Well said.
Thank you. Yeah, praise the Lord.